Well, I want to welcome everyone. I'm really excited to be here on this beautiful Texas day. Isn't too hot for us, but I'll tell you what, we've been heating up on the basketball court for sure. One of the things that we've been doing, we've been focusing on quite a bit, more so than we have in the past, and I think the players will be able to tell you this is defense. But before we get started, I'm going to kind of fill you in on life's events. Last time I was up here, I was pregnant. I now have an infant son who is 11 months old. I now am up to 3 boys, and I think that's about it, because I always tell our team, I'm good. I've got 15 daughters and 3 sons. I think my husband and I are in a good place, a good stopping point. Our summer, this summer, we had quite a bit of things going on. We had some changes on my staff. I welcome those changes from the standpoint that we brought some phenomenal people back in. We brought back Chandra Dorsey, who was at Wichita State. Wichita State, they were top 3 in defense. She's been able to come back, kind of rejuvenated as my associate head coach, and we're implementing some of those thoughts and ideas that Jody Adams ran there. I've been excited about that. Also brought in another coach by the name of Addie Lees. Addie is from West Texas. Tough folks out there in West Texas, and I was really excited to bring in that mentality to this program. And also, I was the lone Texan for quite some time, so I was able to bring another coach on staff who's from Texas, and I added another coach by the name of Laura Terry. And Laura, I recruited Laura when I was at Louisville. Never had an opportunity to coach her because our staff left and went to Arkansas, but Laura I've known for quite some time. She's a student athlete at Louisville, went on and was a student assistant there, then she was a graduate assistant at Western Kentucky, so I've been able to keep up with her. I know all our coaches, and then last year was at Weber State, so she joined our staff. So I'm really excited about those changes. I think those changes have brought a new kind of energy to our program, which I think is needed. As we move forward through the summer, we spent a lot of time, obviously out there recruiting and working out our student athletes. I think they've bought into defense. They understood from the beginning, the second season was over last year, that defense is truly where it's going to come down to. Again, we signed quite a few kids who can score. We brought in 6 new faces, 4 freshmen, and we brought in 2 transfers, a junior college transfer and a transfer from Arkansas by the name of McKinley Bonstadt. McKinley will be a redshirt sophomore for us next year, so he helps her play. We had a little bit of some unfortunate news, in that Aaron Peoples went out with a knee injury, and Aaron will not be able to play for us this season. I think that was tough initially for the team to understand that. She was out with an ACL, and Erin will be back, though, fortunately for us next year. She'll be back to join McKinley Bonstadt, who also will be sitting out for us this season. With all that being said, after the initial shock, we weren't quite sure exactly what was going on with her knee injury, gave it some time, and then after reevaluating it, she went to the doctor and found it was ACL. We're kind of able to move from there. She had her surgery last week, everything went well, so we're really excited for Erin. I can tell you Erin is extremely upbeat, and so is the team. But as we move forward, we have a lot of pieces still in place, I think, that are still going to be able to help us compete for a championship. So as scary as it is to lose a kid like Aaron Peoples, right, who's a kid who's a potential all-conference player, maybe even really be, potentially player of the year with the kid Gamble over there at Arkansas State, we still have a lot of pieces. We've recruited some pieces as well as some pieces have really stepped up in practice, and that's really what we've been looking for. We've turned the corner. Their energy level is phenomenal. We've turned the corner with their ability to be able to work hard and give full effort. The only thing right now that I'm asking is we do a better job with our communication. I think that's where we're at. But the good thing is we still have 5 more weeks to do that, and I'm really excited. What I like so far that I've seen from this team is just constantly going, constantly giving more every time you ask. Just a really good can-do attitude. There are times where obviously they don't like it, but they just keep plugging away. For sure, offensively, we've signed some kids. I enjoy kids that are highly skilled. We've signed some kids that are going to be able to put the ball in the hole. I think what people have noticed, what you'll notice on the surface when you take a look at our team is that we're smaller. And you're going to ask yourself, well, where's the rebounding going to come from? We're asking ourselves that question right now. I think that'd be the one area if you had to take a look at our team where I'd say we need some work, or we're going to have to scheme a little bit better. It's going to be rebounding. But with that being said, hey, let's take a look at Little Rock. Let's take a look at Arkansas State. Let's take a look at Troy. Take a look at the majority of the teams in our conference, right? Take a look at Lafayette. If you take a look at the majority of our teams in our conference, we don't have big strapping kids like they do at UTA. Okay? Most of us have kids about 6 foot, between 5'9", 6'1", that just get after it. And really, I've taken on that thought process through our recruiting right now. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how many, big 6'3", 6'4" kids are going to sign from here on out, because the one thing I've recognized, we're able to play a lot faster right now. We're a lot faster. That's both on offense and defense. So I really enjoyed that piece of it. But on the surface right now, we take a look at this. Yes, we're smaller, but that doesn't mean that our hearts aren't in it. It doesn't mean that our kids aren't going to work harder. We've really been able to do some fun stuff defensively. I think the kids have really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to kind of roll that product out there. We also have the toughest schedule to this point of my tenure here at Texas State. We opened up, obviously, with Texas A&M. And this was done by design. I figured by the time I'm here going into my 5th year, we'd have a senior class, our 4 seniors who've been through the program, who've been through the system for 4 years, that we should be able to compete and be in a place where it prepare us for conference play, to have the longevity and the resume to potentially have postseason play. We've been very fortunate that we've been back-to-back with postseason at this point, and so now here's our challenge. Our challenge is Texas A&M to open up, for sure. We also have to go on the road. We're very fortunate that Dr. Tice, Dr. Trouth, and Ms. Tracy Shoemake have allowed this women's basketball team to go play an international trip. So when we're on that international trip, as fun as it'll be in Cancun, or we'll open up right away with Iowa State. Very good team, as you all know, another top 25 program. Then we play Idaho, who was a formidable opponent when we were last in the WAC conference for us. And then lastly, we play Duke. Okay? When we come home, we still have UTSA, which is always a fun rivalry for us. You just never know what's going to happen in that game. As well as we play Missouri on the road. Now those are just a handful of teams that we play. I think that are going to provide us some fun challenges outside of the other teams that we play. North Texas, Houston Baptist. We have some other teams that are sprinkled in there. But I think this conference schedule, this non-conference schedule will truly prepare us for conference play. Regardless of what the outcome looks like, I'm excited about it because our team's excited about it and they're prepared. And all the preparation happened in the off season, and truly it happened from the second we stopped playing and I had them in the gym all the way up until now. We still again have 5 weeks before we open up at Texas A&M, which is truly exciting. We have leadership on the team that we haven't necessarily had before, 4 kids that have been with me for the last 3 years. And again, I still point to Erin Peoples, who's done a great job for us. I told her she stepped up her leadership like I've never seen since she has been injured, to be honest with you. She's been very critical at times. I think she has coach's eyes now, and the team appreciates that. We have Ariel Anderson, who's obviously a returning starter for us. We have Raven Burns, who's returning for us. We have a transfer young woman who came in from Tulsa, who hopefully will be eligible for us in conference season, when we get into conference season play for the second half of the semester. But if you add on top of that Caitlin Walla, who's now back with us, she's been cleared and been practicing, and if you add back Tiara Pitts, who hopefully will be cleared here pretty soon, I'm really excited. We have some key pieces in play, and that's not to mention our very talented sophomore class. We have Erica May, who's coming back, who's just a sophomore. And gosh, Taylor Deere was the kid. I said, Taylor, you're that kid where coaches are flipping through their scouting report and, telling my coach, I don't know who that kid is. And she's still coming back. So, really and truly, it's tough when you lose a kid like Erin Peoples for a year, but also it's exciting knowing that we have a lot of strong players still with us, and there's a lot of youth, and there's still a lot of excitement, and we're changing a little bit of the way we play as far as being able to play faster and go full speed forward. So as I kind of look forward right now, really and truly, the one thing you're going to find from me and the team will probably tell you that I've been pushing is our ability to play defense and be able to play it quickly and be able to play it fast. Our offensive piece of the game will come along. I'm not necessarily as worried about that because we recruit kids that are highly skilled. I need to make sure the kids we put out there now are going to be able to get stops. And that's really what it's going to come down to for us. It's going to come down to our ability to be able to get stops. Well, I'll find ways to help them score, but we got to get those stops. I'm open for questions.
Coach, this one of your most versatile teams. Last season you guys were sometimes too, because the abilities of the players to play bigger than what they were. Is this one of your more versatile teams that you've had?
I would say for sure. It is the most versatile team that we've ever had. We have kids that can play multiple positions. I have one in this room right now, and Caitlin Wallace. She's a kid who can play, a 2, a 3, or a 4. We have a couple kids like that as well. Erica May obviously can float between the 3 and the 4. Erica May is going to be playing probably more sort of forward spot for this year, but she has guard type skills. Whitney Apari will be a growing kid for us. She was a freshman last year. She can also face up. A lot of our forwards are kids that can face up and put the ball on the floor as well as defend guards. And so to answer that question, yes, for sure. And we've signed a freshman as well who can be able to do that.
You mentioned that defense is one of your things that you want to instill in your offensive players. What is a challenge that you face as a coach trying to get these offensive-minded players to play defense the way that you want them to?
I think the challenge is that they always have an understanding if I make a shot, everything in the world is okay. It's kind of balanced. It's just kind of that euphoria you have for those of you guys that are offensive players. I think the challenge you find is understanding that defense takes a lot more just leg work than it does maybe necessarily brain work, but it takes a lot more leg work. And that's your ability to be able to move quickly and understand gaps and seams. And the style of defense we're playing is a little bit different too. It's not your standard style. Like I said, one of the things I've enjoyed about having Chandra Dorsey back is she's able to bring back a lot of thoughts and ideas that they had there at Wichita State, who was top 3 in the country. in and out of 1, 2, 3 in the country regarding their defense. And so it's a little bit different for them as well. I think that's probably more of a challenge than is them buying in, because what you'll find is our upperclassmen right now truly understand they've bought in. If you take a look at a lot of our games, if we were able to get big stops, we probably would have been fine. I think them understanding that is really helped the process.
What kind of growing pains do you expect with a pretty youthful team this year?
I think like most coaches in basketball, you're going to have turnovers and you're going to have shot selection. I think that's the toughest part, is in trying to figure out, well, what's a good shot, what's a bad shot, what's a good pass, what's a good passing angle. But as far as defense and effort, they're doing a great job. But truly the growing pains for most coaches is trying to teach your kids what's a good shot within your offense and how do you take care of the basketball playing at that speed and that pace.
I know you were saying that Peoples is really well players and she got injured, but who are you looking to step up and be more of a leader on the court this year now that she's one of the seniors that play this year?
Well, two of the kids that I'm expecting for sure from the senior class is going to be Raven Burns and Ariel Anderson. They've got to step up for us. And, they're two different types of leaders. Their leadership style is a little bit different as far as Ariel. Ariel's more of an emotional leader at times. Raven is the type of kid who's more of a sounding board. He just puts in work, whether it be in the weight room or whether it be on the basketball floor we're practicing. And the kind of emerging leader I think you'll find as well is going to be Caitlin Wallach coming off an injury, just her energy level that she brings. I think a lot of the kids that haven't had an opportunity to be around it yet don't truly understand, and that's truly the majority of the sophomore class and the freshmen. They don't really understand who she is yet, but once she gets out there, I think they'll naturally fall in line.
Yes, you're losing Aaron, but talk about getting Caitlin Wall back and what she could mean for you. After her freshman year, she had a very good year her first season.
She had a great year. The thing that I've always enjoyed about kids like Aaron and Kate is that they're versatile players, and we're talking about the versatility earlier. They're kids that can play multiple positions, but if you take it beyond that, they're just hard workers. And I think that's what the team needs right now, are kids that not only understand who have a high basketball IQ, but also going to put in the work and put in the extra work and stay encouraging to their teammates. So I think it's going to be really fun. Not only that, but Kate's a local kid. I think people really want to see her be successful outside of the fact that she's a great player here for us at Texas State, and she's young. She's just really and truly, she's going to go into her redshirt sophomore year. We have Kate for 3 more years before we send her on to medical school.
You went deep into your bench last season with the young players like Taylor and Eric May, and so with that experience that you gave them last year, what does that speak to the depth that you would have this season, have that first year under the belt?
Well, hopefully for us, it'll turn into more opportunities for them, which will allow our team to be strong, especially when we get deeper into conference play. But it's still pretty early. I want to give these youngins a chance to see kind of where they fit in. With the 4 freshmen that are coming in and the junior college transfer, I think you're going to see that quite a few of them are probably going to play for us, especially the junior college transfer for sure. She's shown in practice already that she deserves to start at this point. If I had to start anybody today, that'd be my first kid I'm going to tell you who's starting, because she's got a high motor. She works hard. She's not perfect, but she does a good job finishing inside. She gives it all she's got. She's probably definitely one of our best screeners, and she really understands what it is that we need from her. She plays her role and she doesn't complain. And I'm really excited about y'all having an opportunity to see Amber play.
Coach, this is your 3rd year in the Sun Belt coming up. Just how talented is the league you talked about?
I think we're extremely talented. It's really interesting. I was thinking in my head, well, who would I pick where? You're obviously, no matter what, we're always going to put Little Rock at the top, although Joe said, please be forgiving. Every time you said the word, please be forgiving, it's like, would you shut up already? I was like, how often have you really ever truly struggled? Like, you don't even know what it's like to be at the bottom. But I put them there at the top. I probably put Arkansas State, though, still at number 1. I put UTA back up there for sure. I'm a big believer that UTA is going to be a really, really tough program. She was really young, and she got in some pretty good players coming in. Obviously, Lafayette was able to kind of run the table there towards the end, and they won the WBI. They're going to be tough, and Troy always reloads with junior college All-Americans. And then so at the top, I would say those are my teams for sure at the top. It's kind of the usual suspects. Georgia Southern has a new coach, so I'll be curious to see what they look like. Georgia State, I'll be curious as well. Appalachian State, they lost their best player, and it's that head coach's first year, so I'll be curious to see who they recruit. Those are kind of question marks in my mind. I'll be curious to see how we match up as a conference against some of the other conferences out there early. I'm actually looking forward to kind of cheering on my counterparts as we go through our early conference play, because to me the Sun Belt Conference is a phenomenal women's basketball conference. We don't get the recognition, I think, at times that we deserve amongst our colleagues. And I think after this last year, we definitely will. We had so many teams in postseason play that were able to fight, as well as, if you take a look at our RPI, as a conference compared to some of our counterparts within our region, we're doing really well. And so I think it's going to be fun to kind of take a look and see, what we look like in non-conference play before we head into conference play this year in the Sun Belt.
How do you foresee the timing changes impacting the game, if at all?
For me, I love it. I was really excited. I think the thing that I enjoy about it the most is it allows us to play fast. I think it's fun and exciting for fans. It's not only fun and exciting for fans, to me, if you're a fan of the game, you're really going to live through the kids at times, and they're out there, the plays and the excitement of it. And if the kids are out there having fun and they're making big defensive stops because of the timing piece of it, or they're able to score quickly, you feel that euphoria with them. And I think that's what makes the game exciting to me. So I'm okay with the speeding up of the game, with the backcourt. I really like the fact that we've implemented what they have in the NBA and the WNBA, and that is, under 59.9 seconds if you don't advance the ball and you have the timeout available, you call the timeout, then you get it at the opposite end to run a quick play. I mean, that's just exciting. Maybe not so exciting, if I'm the team playing defense, but I do think it's excitement for the game. So for me, I welcome it. I like the 10-minute quarters. It breaks the game up a little bit more, and you can really kind of rally your kids. We've already kind of tested it ourselves in practice. We've run twice now a 10-minute quarter just to see what our conditioning level was like, to make them truly understand that the media doesn't come for some time, that you can go for a really long stretch, and both teams will be out there for quite some time, where you can be really tired, and that our timeouts now are really limited. I've already educated a few of our fans to let them know, stop yelling at me to call a timeout, because I have even less now. But Bill, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited too because we have these close scrimmages, and we're going to have some of the officials come in, the NCAA officials come in and officiate these games to see what the game looks like. But to me, I only see it being an exciting brand of basketball for women's basketball for fans.
Although you guys were a great three-point shooting team last year, not the best from the inside the arc. How have you been working with your team to improve that?
Well, I can tell you the one thing we've been doing quite a bit, and it's because of our versatility right now, is making sure we do a better job of finishing layups with our smaller face-up forwards. As a matter of fact, I can tell you yesterday we spent a good 5 or 6 minutes, and all we did was work on layups, making sure that we're able to get layups. We're going to get a lot of those layups, though, in a different way. Versus just being planting and passing the ball and pounding inside, the majority of those are going to be on the move. I think because of the way we look, a lot of those layups are going to be on the move. We're still going to be, hopefully, knock on wood, a great three-point shooting team. Again, we've signed some more kids that have the ability to be able to score from the outside. But the thing I've always said about teams that shoot from the outside, once defense recognizes that and they do their job, you should be able to put the ball on the floor, force some easy layups. And so some of the best kids on the team, as far as being able to shoot the three, should also be kids who can get all the way to the hole and finish for us.
I know that the whole coach speak of the most important games of the next game. But when you look at the schedule, is there any game where you circle like I can't wait till that one comes around, like a certain team or any?
My first game right now is Texas A&M. That's really true. I can't wait to that game to kind of see where we are. I really can't. To be honest with you, I'm excited about our scrimmages. We have two close scrimmages coming up. And I'm really excited about those. They're both against Division I opponents. And so I'm actually really excited. Again, it actually goes back to the fact that our game has changed with the timing to kind of see what that looks like, as well as to see, how good is our athleticism and what is our skill set like when we put it out there against another Division I program.
Do you have a favorite memory so far here at Texas State?
Favorite memory at Texas State? Not necessarily so. Every year I do reflect on different players and different moments when we're on the road that are kind of fun, or moments when we're here. Recently I thought honestly of Kelsey Krupa when she had their wedding proposal. I just thought that was just really fun and exciting for all of us. My favorite games is always when we beat UTSA. I think that's exciting. I don't necessarily have any favorite moments. I just know that Texas State has a special place in my heart. There's places I enjoy being on campus, kind of hanging out. I just thought the other day I haven't been to Harris Dining Hall in a while. I need to get back there and go eat. But I really do. I've got little pockets of things that I really enjoy. Probably the best thing that I enjoy the most now after being here, going to my 5th year, is the fact that a lot of students come by and say hi. I'll be on campus and be like, hey, Coach Z, and I just think that's fun. That some way or shape or form athletics has had an opportunity to touch some kid's heart, and I think that's pretty cool. So that's probably the most memorable thing for me is when I'm around when I'm just around in San Marcos and somebody's like, hey, Coach Z, I just think that's a lot of fun. I just think it's a lot of fun.